Good afternoon. How are we all doing? Sorry, I'm a bit late. I was booking my car in for an MOT. So there you go. Holy cow. Sorry, just seen a profit figure on one of my terminals, sitting up at $700 odd. It's a demo account that I was trading, and I took 4 random trades testing an EA. And this shows you how random trading is, isn't it? I pressed the button long and short on the indices. So I've gone long on gold, short on the Dow, long on the S&P, short on the NASDAQ, and short on the Aussie US. And I'm sitting in $700 of profit just by randomly hitting buttons. It's good, isn't it? I thought that was a live P&L then. I was getting excited. Phil, welcome to the private streams. Phil has just joined the private streams, apparently, according to chat. Afternoon, Mumble, Fletch, Mumo, how are we doing? It's time for Guinea. Afternoon. So, big move on the pound US. I've just banked a little bit of profit on the pound US on the spike. Where's my pen? There it is. It's like you hit the button on this, and like it'll either come immediately or it will hang around for a bit and just decide when it wants to appear on your screen, and it picks a monitor at random to appear on. Just like hunt the pen. So yeah, just closed out 2 positions. I closed out a partial on so that position there that I took this morning. I've closed out that one. I've closed out the one that I took yesterday, and I've done a partial on the oldest position. So bank just over 0.5%. And we'll see where we go from here. But obviously, big downward move on the dollar. 175% of ADR on the pound US. ADR dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. There's no point in going through these. They're all extended. So everything on the move there. The dollar, bye-bye. Yeah, dollar dying badly. 225 coming up on US yen. Euro US dollar, big spike up. So yes. So basically, obviously, the reason for that is the non-farm payroll figure was down slightly. We got the forecast on the unemployment rate. So the Fed's going to want to drop those interest rates, I think. Difficult to tell, really. But the market seems to have factored in the fact that they are definitely going to drop rates in in September. If we look at the feed, there's your non-farm payroll. We've also got oil production hikes coming in, which is annoying because I've got a long on oil. I have to take some profit on this oil trade. Oh, I've got so many windows open. I might leave it for a minute, actually. ADR's off. So basically, there's your non-farm payroll number that came out lower than forecast, so less people getting paid. Average earnings went up as well. So we've got 75% chance now instead of a 45% chance of dropping 0.25% in September. The markets have also priced in an 80% chance of a rate cut in March 2026. I'm not quite sure how they get to that. Next March, nearly a year away, we're going to probably, with 80% certainty, drop the rates in the European Union by something. That's basically what that means. It's red news. 60% chance of a 0.25% cut by December for the ECB, so bearish euro. And 2 Fed rate cuts this year now, apparently. So we could probably go September and November. Swiss president, US tariffs will have a very bad effect on the Swiss economy. We saw that from the Swiss franc drop today. So that's just a confirmation of that. Jobs data was disappointing. There's loads and loads of talk coming out from Hamak about the jobs data. It's still, I think, undecided. The market seems to have decided, but I'm not so sure about this cut, this interest rate. The unemployment number is not massively convincing. Powell said we need to be watching it. We are. It's exactly what we got. So I get the feeling this might be a slight overreaction, which is why I've taken a partial on it. because I'm not convinced it's going to stay that strong. But we are, at the moment, it seems, still on the move. So I traded this today, which is lovely. So on my Top Step account, I'm now up $2,800. Done 1,300 today. I went long on 6B. No, I didn't. B. I went long on the pound. So as soon as that news hit and we broke that high, I hit the buy button there basically, and I rode that and I got out on a trailer there. So yeah, nice $1,300 profit banked today, which is nice. Which now means I've got plenty of room to move, which is great. So NASDAQ wise and opening ranges today, it was an absolute crap session on the European indices. The DAX broke clean, but didn't really go anywhere. So stopped out in the second part of that after taking partials on it. The FTSE was a long break, stop out, short break, stop out, not gone anywhere, now broken down. So slight loss this morning. With the US indices, obviously we've had the move today already kind of come in. We didn't get anywhere near as much movement on the unemployment rate. So there's your unemployment rate spike. So the market actually in the stock indices didn't really do a lot. I was expecting, when you get a massive move like that in the dollar, you expect some kind of contrarian move in the indices. We haven't had it. So I have decided to trade the open. Whether it's the right decision or not, I don't know. But normally on this type of day with a non-farm payroll, you would expect big movement pre-market, and then you usually get that when the market opens and it just doesn't go anywhere. But we haven't had that. We've just had a whipsaw. So I think there's a good chance we will get a break. We are down very, very big today already, though. So if you look at the indices already, so we are 150 ADR on the Dow. The S&P, we're 175 ADR, and the NASDAQ, we're already 150 ADR. So, they've already really moved today. So it's going to be quite a difficult session, I think, because we've already had the moves today. So I don't really want to risk too much on this, but it does seem like it's selling off really, really hard again, doesn't it? Look at the gaps. Yeah, NASDAQ's gapping on the 5-minute candles. That is a very strong move to the downside. So no trade taken on the 10-minute there. Range is too big. So there's your range, that size that's gone in. The maximum range is 40% of ADR. We've done well over 40% of ADR, so no trades on the S&P. So that's decision made for me. Way too big on the Dow. No trades on the Dow either. NASDAQ just squeezed in there, look, just shy. So that's kind of 35% of the average daily range gone in on that 5-minute candle. So when you get moves of that magnitude at the open, you usually find it very hard to get a risk-reward ratio off of it because it's done half of its daily move within 5 minutes. So if you're going to try and grab yourself a 2R out of it, it's really got to push. So if you get 40% of the average daily range done there, you're asking the market to do 80% of its average daily range, which it will do 55, 56% of the time. But you're asking it to do it at the open after it's already sold off massively during the day. So we're at 175% of ADR and we've done 40% of the average daily range at the open. So it's quite difficult for the market to actually get enough momentum to move even further. But this is looking parabolic today. So it's a little bit of an anomaly today. Really bad reaction. I'm back in positive territory, which is nice. But I'm not holding out too much hope this is going to collapse any further. I don't really want to take any trades on this account because I'm up 1,300 on it. It'd be sod's law. I'll get into it when it's going to pull back. But if we do pull back into this area here, I might look a short in there, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna break even the position. I don't want to take a loss on it. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock in 240. I'm going to move the TP down, actually. I'm going to lock in 240. That basically gets me break even, so I can't lose today. This is parabolic, isn't it? Let's have a quick look at where we're going. Oh, get the right terminal. NASDAQ. There's not really any obvious support. We've got the weekly lows here, which is way beyond 225 ADR. We've got this little spike, which was a new spike, which came back down and retested this area here. Yeah. So that is kind of 225 ADR. So really, there's not really anything till you hit 225 ADR, 250 ADR today. I mean, if this wants to collapse, I'm just going to let it go, I think. New Zealand dollar, Swiss ADR, pretty much everything's at ADR. We're missing Euro Yen. We're almost up to a full house today. Euro Yen, Pound Odd, Pound New Zealand. So these three are letting us down today. We're very close to a full house. Absolute parabolic lunacy. But hey, it's fun, isn't it? I kind of want to take this just to get back some of yesterday's loss. If I wasn't up 1,300 on the other account today, I'd be seriously considering that. But the only trouble with top stepping is you're going to get half of it, which is annoying. There we go. So where's 225? So that's just over 200. That monthly level here is just over 200 ADR. Okay, so trailing stops kicking in. So it's locked in profit. I'm going to move this down to that monthly level. Let's just see if we can go. I can't make a loss today. I'm already locked in 300. So I'm just going to see if we can get a big runner today. Be a lucky day, but huge moves. Has anybody heard of or traded with trading funds? Because I've passed an evaluation with them, but they want $440 basically for the funded account. So there's an activation fee of $441. I've never heard of them. I don't even know why they came on my radar, but they came on my radar because they had a $9 evaluation, which I've done. I've passed it. I'm over the line. So they're saying basically, excellent, let's go. And they've got good Trustpilot reviews. And they've also got obviously bad ones. Everybody has. But what the hell? Flagged on the system for martingale. Don't trade martingale then. But yeah, I've pressed the button to pay the fee, and then I've gone, actually, I don't fancy it. Then I pressed the button again, and then I went, actually, I don't fancy it. And customer support have just got in touch and gone, we've noticed you've tried to pay for your evaluation, and you haven't. Is there anything we can help with? And I'm like, normally, when you do an evaluation, you pay $300 or whatever to get your account, and then you pass, and you're like, yay, I've got a funded account. With this one, I've paid $9, and now I've passed, but I'm having to pay them more money to get funded. I know it's a $9 evaluation, and the whole purpose is that they get you on board, and then you play around with it, and you pass, and then they want the money. But I'm just not sure I actually want it. So I'm sitting here with a 50K funded account, and I'm not sure I want it. But I just wondered if anybody's traded with them, because I haven't. So I don't know if they're any good or bad or what they are. ADRs, there's nothing to look at apart from Aussie New Zealand. That's starting to come down now, which is nice. But yeah, that's your only RSI extension today. ADRs, there's no point in looking at. Okay, we're pulling back a little bit now on the NAS. No, we're not. God, it looks, isn't that mad? It looks like we're, oh, wrong one. It looks like we're pulling back on the NASDAQ. If I could actually find what I'm looking for. But we're not, because it's so unbelievably parabolic. You know, a pullback half of that candle is actually nothing at all, is it? Crazy today. Still going. Mumble, last month's figures have been massively revised downwards on farm payroll. Last month's figures, have they? Yeah, 147. Yeah, bloody hell, yes, they have, haven't they? Yeah, so that 147 was revised down to what? Down to 14. And then we were forecasting a hike up to 106 and we got 73. So yeah, that is actually a lot worse. It's that a lot worse. You know what that is? AI. Microsoft sacking everybody, literally every tech firm on the planet, replacing us with AI. Yeah. That's where you want to be. This is, you want to be, let's adjust this. There we go. That's what you want to be in. Farm employment change. Become farmers. Forget the non-farm stuff. Farm employment change. That's where you want to be. Non-farm jobs, there aren't any. They've gone. I'm finding it very hard not to take a partial on this. So locked in $2,000. I'm going to move it down. Screw it. If it wants to go parabolic, let it go parabolic. So this is 200% of ADR on the NASDAQ. So we are twice the average daily range now. I really wish I'd have hit the sell button on my funded account. I didn't. Afternoon, Meh, Ryan. How are we doing? God, alerts going off all over the place. Pound yen, pound Swiss. Oh, no, that's not one. We're looking for a full house, basically. So we need euro yen. That's got a good chance. Look at it. We're not far away. That Japanese yen, huge move starting on that. Bye-bye Canadian dollar. Wow. Why has the CAD reacted so hard? Look at the CAD. All over the place. So euro yen could hit. Pound odd. We're missing the pound odd. I think pound odd's going to let us down, I think, today. Pound New Zealand would be doing the same thing, yeah. So the Australasian markets, pound odd, pound New Zealand, I think they're the two that we're going to miss today. So we're not going to get a full house. Never mind. Okay, so slight stall out for the last 2 minutes on the NAS. God, can you imagine getting an inside bar? In fact, I'm going to move my stop just above that wick. So that's the propulsion gap. In fact, the whole thing is a propulsion gap. If you look at it, that there, we've got a propulsion gap into a propulsion gap into a propulsion gap. So that is one massive propulsion gap today. There are no buyers in this market. The market is just selling everything. Someone's buying all this up, though. New low on the Dow. So tempting to buy this down here, but you know what's going to happen. Anybody trading ORB get these on as well? If you did, well done. I think you've just paid your next 3 months mortgage. So nobody's used these guys then, these trading funds guys. That's disappointing. The thing that worries me about it as well, I'm just making sure there's nothing on the screen dodgy. So basically that's my evaluation account, which cost me $9. $9. So basically you now have to complete your activation payment, which is basically 440 or whatever it is. But I did that in 4 days. These guys will not pay you for 14 days. So you have to trade for 14 days before you pay. And this is like Apex used to be. So you have to wait 14 days to get paid, which is fine. But obviously all the time you're trading, you've got the possibility of coming and hitting your loss limits. And obviously, as we know, the market doesn't do nice things every day like we want it to. 30 seconds to go. No signs of buyers at all. We might just finish bullish on the NASDAQ. You might get a bull candle, but it's probably the most bearish bull candle you ever see in your life. Look at that. Green. 10 seconds. Go on. You can do it. You watch this. Literally, as soon as the next candle opens, we're going to put a new low in. So there's another propulsion gap. So you just do not try and buy this today. It's nuts. So yeah, so you have to wait 14 days to get paid out, basically, which just annoys me. Everybody else lets you get paid nowadays straight away. So they're asking me for 400 quid to get a funded account. They have loads of rules about martingale and all sorts of things. And whenever I look at rules like that, it worries me, because if you've put all these rules in place about restricted trading activity, martingale, they do not state what it is. And this is where a lot of firms have caught me out in the past and other people, is with this martingale rule. So they basically say you're not allowed martingale. I'm just trying to see. Under forbidden. No, martingale. Yeah. What is martingale strategy? So they classify it as a high risk approach, obviously, blah, 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 blah. Increasing position size after losing a trade. Yeah. So just to give you an example of my trading history here. Yeah. I took a trade here on the NASDAQ for 0.6 lots. Yeah. Then I took a trade for 0.15 lots. Yeah. The reason for that is the stop loss distance was different on those two trades. So this one, yeah, had a different stop loss. Therefore, to get the risk on, which was a couple of $100, I required a larger lot size or a smaller lot size. This, I had a losing trade. The next trade taken was twice the size. Yeah, this isn't martingale. This is a different risk profile. Totally legitimate trading. But you look at what they say about martingale, increasing your lot size after a losing trade. So are you saying I've got to take exactly the same risk with exactly the same lots on every single trade I take? There's another example. Look, NAS buy, lost that for $500. NAS buy, 0.18, 0.15, made $450 with a larger lot size. Is that martingale? I don't want to sit there for 14 days, grind away, trading, and then turn around and go, oh no, you're trading martingale. It's far too woolly when they have this rule in here. Increasing position size after a loss. After a losing trade, the next trade involves doubling or significantly increasing the position. What is a significant increase? Determine that. What percentage increase am I not allowed to do? Can my stop loss placement be in a different place? Or do you want me to use exactly the same distance? Not interested. Basically chucking $400 into something where they're just going to turn around and go, nah, you broke a rule. It's like, well, you didn't really determine the rules, did you? But I didn't use martingale on this. I just had different sizes of lots, basically. So, yeah. You saw me trading it live. Look, I took a buy and a sell on the NASDAQ there with different lot sizes. One loser and one winner, which is 10 times the size of the loser. But the lot size is also 50% larger than that. Not because I'm doing martingale, because my risk was in a different position. This trade stopped out in 3 minutes. I held that one for 1.5 hours. Why did I hold it? Because it was working. No, that's martingale. I think I've made my own mind up. I'm not interested. They can keep my $9. If in doubt, stay out. The funded account, yeah. I've been paid by Top Step. I've been paid by my forex funds. I've been paid by Apex. I've been paid by loads of prop firms. I'm always worried about new firms. And when you see that review specifically about martingale, it's really, really woolly. My interpretation of martingale is you take a trade for one lot, you lose. You take a trade for 2 lots, you lose. You take a trade for 4 lots, you lose. It's a very obvious pattern. But that isn't what they are classing it as, is it? That's not what they've said. So you might want to look at the futures desk, but this isn't for futures, Brian. This is for CFDs. For futures, I trade Top Step. They're the best firm out there. No one will prove me wrong. I don't care what you say. I'm right. Top Step, I don't need a futures. Top Step does everything I need it to do. I was just looking for CFDs. There's loads of futures out there. I think what you'll find with all the futures platforms, I don't really think there's any bad futures ones out there. There probably is. But futures is futures. You're trading on the futures market. Everybody gets the same price. All the conditions are the same. 225 CAD yen. Bloody hell, look, that's gapped down. Oh, what's just happened? PMIs just came out. But yeah, there's loads of futures firms you can choose from. It's the CFD ones, which are the dodgy ones. And the other thing is they don't offer MT4, MT5 anymore. And that also sends alarm bells. They only let you trade on Trade Locker. I'm also not convinced about that either. That software was awful. Anyway. So if anybody wants a funded account, $441, I'll give you the logins. Obviously, they'll have to pay me, and then I'll pay you. I'll take a 10% cut. There you go. So I've got an evaluation passed, ready to go. $441. If you want it, let me know. That's probably highly illegal, so ignore that. We just broken through the 200 ADR mark. S&P has just tapped straight into monthly lows and bounced off. So look at this market today. It's absolute meltdown. So we are now 2 away from a full house. Anybody want to play bingo? I can't do CFDs. I'm exempt. Yes, you are. But you trade on Apex, don't you, Brian? So Apex are good. They're all good. All few. The only reason I like Top Step above the others is because they're much bigger and harder to topple. They got Top Step TV and stuff, and it's just they're massive and established. There's lots of other futures firms out there which are also very good. Apex have been around for an absolute age, but I've always been of the if you're gonna go with a company, go with the big one, because the big one's going to be less susceptible to anything. And Top Step, the platform's good, and they pay you as well. You very rarely hear of people in Top Step getting stuffed, i.e. not paid. All the other firms, you hear lots of people not getting paid. So I'm just looking at. So I've got an EA I'm testing, and it didn't take any trades today for some reason, which is annoying. I give up. I'm taking a partial. I might well regret this. I'll move my TP away, but I'm going to take a partial on this. Too much money. In fact, I'm taking it all. Done for the day. Make sure there's no other pendings on. So yeah, out 4K. Just because that gets back yesterday's loss, the vast majority of it. Just want to make sure that I cancel as much of that out as I can, because it was a hideous day yesterday. Absolute whipsaw city. So this is pulling back off the lows. S&P, the reason I've made that decision is because the S&P is bouncing off of this monthly level. So whenever we get a reaction like that at a monthly, it's a little bit worrying. So there's your 2-month high. So if you look at that on the S&P, it's this area here, which is also this weekly level here. So it's this whole area, this propulsion gap. So we hit this multiple times. We managed to get through it, and it turned into support. So this is the line in the sand the market's been using. We've collapsed into it for 2 days now, solid down. It's exhausted. They're going to want to take profit at some point. It's Friday as well. So I'm just worried about a profit take move starting, and the profit take move could well be very, very quick as well. So just seeing a confluence basically of conditions there where the S&P's hit that support level. We got a whacking great potential reversal candle going in, big tail, buyers stepping in or sellers stopping. This is going to pull back a portion of this move before it continues. I don't really want to take $2,000 when I can take 4. But if this now collapses down to $6,000-7,000, so be it. But take the money when you got it. So if this is going to be the start of a pause, break out of that last 5-minute candle, potentially you could get a nice little scalp move out of that. So potentially a pull back into this propulsion gap somewhere, the hourly. Lovely end to the week. Yep. So we're painting inside bars across the board now. So there you go. So there's that signal long. Is it worth taking with one contract just to see? Might regret this. Just a single contract. In fact, I'm not even sure I want to risk 800 on this. Failed. Do not try and catch a falling knife. Stopped out. Dead. Yeah, not trying to get in front of this today. That's the only signal so far long today. It is going to pull back at some point, but doesn't look like it's yet. So never mind. Right. So all these ADRs today, I mean, there's just absolutely no point in going through anything on the FX side of things. Obviously, the market is in absolute free fall at the moment off the back of that dollar. Whether or not it's going to stick, we'll have to wait and see. It seems like a very, very big move for a forecast event. However, this adjustment, which Mumo pointed out, is very big, isn't it? So we've dropped 100K in employment numbers, in farm employment change. So just refresh that. So non-farm employment change. So yeah, it is actually a much bigger miss than anticipated, which is why we've had that huge reaction to it. So the market basically is readjusting on its previous numbers. It's just got a lot worse than it anticipated it being. So got to be a little careful, as you can see, trying to pick a bounce on this. These moves can easily go on way beyond 225 ADR. The only reason I go to 225 ADR on my indicator is there is only a 2% chance of going beyond that. So 98% of the time, we don't get anywhere near this level. We do go beyond it. 300 ADR, 350 ADR we've done in days before where we've had large news events. So, this is what I'm expecting, a pullback continuation. And that's what I was trying to catch there on the NASDAQ. But with these, trying to find a pullback on these is also very, very, very difficult because you've got no way of determining from a support resistance perspective where you're going to come back to. So this propulsion gap here, a bounce off the top of the propulsion gap is often quite a big play. But equally, it could grind back into anywhere in here. Could look at previous levels from the day as potential bounce points, but it's very, very hard to pick bounce plays on this type of move, which is why I tend to try and just grab the move. But again, that's very risky. Oil is also coming down. Should have got out earlier. Coming down very hard now. So ADR hit on oil. That might cost me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my mind made up for me rather than me making my mind up. If this gets back here, why you not let me move orders? I know I'm trying to get closer to the screen. It's not going to help me, is it? So if this pulls back to break even, I'm done. So I'm looking for a pullback into there. Oil, basically, they've increased oil supply today. So I was just waiting to see what the market made of it. That was the news. I was expecting potentially a sideways move, but they are selling it back off again. So I want out of oil at some point. But everything else, absolute parabolic. Aussie dollar Swiss. What's happened to the Aussie dollar? Weird, but you can't tell what's going on today. It's basically it's chaos everywhere, isn't it? So everything's moving. Delta pushed hard to the upside. Oh, you git. That was the reversal. Stop was too tight. Not hitting the buy button. I'm taking that. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to use the old lockout. Lock me out. That's it. Lockout applied. I cannot trade anymore today. That made my decision for me. Yeah, so that was the pullback. So I did read it right. I just didn't get the stop right. So yeah, watch obviously the lower that propulsion move. Potentially this, they're not going to potentially pull all this back. There is the possibility, obviously, of a complete V-shaped recovery move. So it's unlikely with the speed of this move that we're going to get a full V-shaped recovery on it, but it does happen. So just watch the propulsion gaps. I mean, they're all propulsion gaps really today, aren't they? So it's going to be very hard really to pick where you can turn this back around again. But if we do pull back decently all the way up into here, I would be tempted to have a short on that. I won't be doing it on top step because I lock myself out. But you never know. Do you think that's a fundamental shift today? Probably, yes. You have to wait and see. So with these types of moves, there's two things at play. The profit take. Remember I said the profit take on this will be parabolic. Yeah, that's your parabolic profit take. That's a 38 retracement. Actually, that's probably a 23. It might be a 38, but I think it's probably a 23. No, it's a 38. Yeah, so that's a 38 retracement. So that is a shallow pullback continuation. However, obviously the reason for this, and this is why I said at the beginning of the stream, I don't really understand the size of this because it's a forecast event. If that was anything different than 4.2, I would be saying yeah. But just because we missed by 30 odd K on unemployment doesn't warrant a 200 ADR move. But that is the thing that's really shifted. Is our forecast has dropped by 130K or something ridiculous. So it's a really big change in positioning. The Fed are going to drop interest rates in September. We knew that. We expected that. But this kind of confirms it. So it may well be that the market is going to start to move into a weak US dollar. But that's not until September. So it could well pull all the way back on this move. This could well be a knee-jerk reaction and overreaction. But there's no way of telling. Long term, yeah, the dollar's going to start to weaken now. Because we're going to start to drop interest rates. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't continue. So we just, everything you look at with a dollar in it, look at the propulsion targets to the upside. That's where we're headed. How we get there, when we get there, no idea. How can they get NFP so wrong? I don't know. I mean, if you look at the previous NFP, unemployment rate, the previous NFPs, they are always wrong. Yeah, so they always get recalculated. Yeah, so that 228 actually dropped to a 185. That 177 dropped to a 147. That 139 went up to a 144. That 147 dropped to a 14. Yeah, so normally the adjustments are proportionate. 150 to 117, 140, 120, 250, 300, 227, 212. 100K is a massive error. So, it's always wrong is the answer, but it's never wrong by that much. That's the problem. They're always like, if you look at the percentage changes from there to there, it's not a lot. The percentage change from there to there is almost all of it. That's where it's gone wrong. I don't know how they got it wrong. Maybe they're getting AI to do it. NFP numbers are just a approximate number when they release. The BLS gets info from companies over the course of the month. Yeah. So someone basically is either given the wrong figure as a forecast, or I don't know. I mean, it's difficult to know, isn't it? But that's a big. We have one there as well. Look, if you look January the 5th, the revision went up to 333. That's 50% increase. And then the 353 there was a 50% increase back the opposite direction. You know, that if you look at February and March 2024, you'll probably find a similar move. That's got to go back a long way, isn't it? Long way. There you go, look. 2nd of February 2024. They got that one massively wrong as well. And then March the 8th there. I mean, that was a very, very big one. So that was a 50% out. And there was one there as well. So, you know, it does have a big impact. But the size of that move there, look. So we did, over a period of 24 hours there, we did 252, which is 300% of ADR. It's actually roughly 300% of ADR. So far today, we've done 175% ADR on the pound US dollar. So, you know, when you look at where it can go, it can easily be up here later. Plenty of room for continuation on this. So we're getting a little bit of pushback now in here. If you're looking to get in on any of these, the best thing to do is take a break. Yeah. So if you're looking for a short on this, wait for that to get broken. You know, wait for whatever time frame you're looking at. Wait for them to confirm it. Don't just jump in because we've got a wick, like I did. Yeah, I was right, but I was wrong with my timing, my stop placement, basically. But yeah, I mean, this is pushing up again now. So, you know, just trail your pending orders. If this keeps pushing, just trail pending orders. One of those pending orders is going to get triggered, and it's likely to be the one that it starts to collapse with. So watch resistance, upside resistance. But I'm done. Where's my chat gone? Just hidden it away. Out and as long for time being. Yep. I would. It's one of those sessions. It's really difficult not to get involved in these types of sessions because this is where you get your big money moves. But you can also get killed trying to get in because the movement is so much bigger. That stop loss I had on that NASDAQ trade a minute ago is set to $800 on a single contract. Normally, that would be 1 or 2 5-minute candles. Today, you saw how quick it stopped out. It's within, you know, well within a 5-minute candle. Really good rejection going on at the highs there. So, yeah, we got some pushback here, but reduce risk. Just reduce risk, then you won't get killed. Right, I'll leave it there today. There's no point in looking at any FX today because obviously the market moves are so big. So I'll have a look at it again on Monday and see where everything's going, basically. So a lot of these moves are starting to pull back. Swiss franc is really strengthening up. 225 ADR Swiss franc now. Very nice bounce off of support on US dollar yen. Yeah. Very nice weekly level support bounce there out of propulsion. Again, there's opportunities everywhere if you can find them. There's, you know, you don't need much movement to make money. The beautiful thing about this type of market is the moves are so fast. You're in and out very, very quick. You've got your answer fast with this type of market. But obviously, if you are mean reverting, you are fighting a very large train coming at you. So we'll have a look at it all on Monday and see where everything's going, basically. So obviously, look at this Aussie New Zealand straight back up again. All over the place today, everything. So yeah, we'll have a look at it all on Monday. Probably go through all the pairs on Monday morning and see where everything is, see where it's going. Anybody that's a member, if you haven't gone through the new website yet, go and have a look for me and let them have some feedback. The member stream on Wednesday was when we covered it. So that new site with all the fundamental data that you've got free access to, it's all covered in that Wednesday member stream. So go and have a look at that. Yeah, have a play around and give us some feedback on it, or give them some feedback on it. But it's all free access. It's free stuff. It's worth having a look at. So if you are a member, go and have a look at that at some point. There's details in the Discord as well, in members Discord. Okay, so that's it for today. Anything else you need, let me know. I'll be in Discord or Telegram. But I'll be back on Monday. So very nice day. And fingers crossed, we have another one on Monday. Have a good day.